Wednesday night. This is Scruff of the Neck TV, live on Twitch. And did you order a little musical takeaway? Bet you did. Oh, I've got a big bowl of Jodie Nicholson on the way for you, steaming hot and ready to be served to you. But for starters, we've got the delightful Ajimal, a.k.a. Fran O'Hanlon. Fran, thank you so much for joining me, man, on these lovely little sofas.
Oh, thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah. So you are Ajimal and you are Fran.
Yes.
Which
exactly.
would you prefer me to refer to you as?
Fran.
Fran. Okay. Yeah. I like Ajimal, and we'll go into the details behind that very soon. But first, we've got to come up with your 2 truths and a lie, which you should be able to vote for. Twitchers, you can vote for very soon on the old Twitch screen. So you came up with these a bit ago. I have no idea which one's true and which one's a lie. And I think we just need to reaffirm what they are. So the first one was, I have an ill-advised tattoo of a bandmate's name. Okay, can I know what name that could be?
I feel like that would be too specific, potentially. It may give away too many clues.
Ooh, he's being clever with this.
I'm being coy.
The second one, I am a champion chili eater. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that's like been verified?
It was like a regional competition.
Wow. Okay, that one, you've got the confidence of a man who's eaten a few chilies in his life. I'm going to say. You look like you've got strong bowels. And third one was, I was once forced to spend a week in complete silence. Force worries me. What crimes have you committed, Fran?
That's maybe clumsily worded. I guess the circumstances arose.
Circumstances arose.
I had to spend a week being completely silent.
Ooh, so get voting for those on Twitch. Already, no one's gone for the bandmate name tattoo thing. Okay. But the week in silence has suddenly become very popular. As that, but everyone believe. Oh, there we go. Suddenly the bandmate's name's caught up. Okay. So yeah, yes, CC, de lovely. I am talking about bowels. Jack, have some class, please. You know I've got no class. You know I've not got that because I got no ass either. And without ass, you're not no class. I need to work out more. But Fran, Ajimal. It's an incredible sort of project that you've kind of developed. And you say it's more of a project than necessarily just like a solo outing for you.
Yeah, I think it's kind of changed. I've been doing it for about 10 years and it's changed a bit over that time. So I kind of started describing it as a project when I think I was a bit scared to assume it as my own kind of moniker. And I sort of involved a lot of people in the project as well. So the first album that I made had about 50 sort of people who just were part of it, and then the subsequent one has been more my project. So
your project, so it can go in and out of both in a way.
Yeah, I like the fact that it can be kind of dynamic and different people get involved at different times.
Well, we've got to talk about the name Ajimal because that's got a really interesting backstory. Like, how did that name come about? Yeah,
so I stole it basically from a witch doctor who was a Haitian witch doctor. And basically, so I spent about 6 months in Haiti after the earthquake in 2010.
Oh wow!
And during my time there, I heard people talking about this guy who had practiced voodoo under the name Ajimal, and he was a pretty bad dude, really. Oh. Been part of some pretty bad things with the dictatorship in Haiti for a long time. Wow! But so he was kind of like, before I knew anything about him, really, I liked the sound of the word, so I wrote it down, and I started this project just after coming back, and it just felt like kind of the right thing to launch the project. It's
a really cool name. You already involved in voodoo before you even began.
Yeah. It means bad spirit.
Bad spirit. So well, that's quite interesting because I find your music to be quite spiritual in a way. It's like quite ethereal. Like you did like a sort of album launch recently in a church, and I think that might be one of the most befitting places for your music to be heard.
Yeah, I like playing in churches because it just has that lovely grandeur and also kind of natural reverb, which is lovely to play in. It was lovely to launch the album there. Unfortunately, we've only done like an online launch so far, but there are now plans afoot for the real in-person one. So
can we know more about that? Is there any way we can keep track of that?
Absolutely can. Thank you for asking.
No worries.
So there's a London album launch show which has just been announced. The new date is the 11th of June. So there's very few tickets left for that, but if you're so inclined and in the vicinity of London, then get a ticket.
Great, and we can find them on your socials. What are your socials? Let's plug away, man.
Thank you. Yes. It's all at Ajimal Music, so AJIMAL, and there'll be a Newcastle date as well at some point. So Newcastle crew.
That's wonderful. And so we need to talk about the album because you dropped the album last June, and it's an album that you sort of had a bit of funding to help make because you won a competition. But you didn't even enter the competition.
Oh yeah. So that came about. So basically, I started making the album a good few years ago, and I ended up winning a competition that was hosted by Focusrite, and it was basically a competition to win a dream recording weekend with Guy Massey, who's an amazing producer engineer at a studio in London. So I think my brother entered it on my behalf because I suddenly.
Are you still not sure?
I don't know to this day, but I got an email while I was at work being like, "Oh, you have won a dream recording weekend," and I was like, "Well, this is bollocks." Yeah. So I deleted the email and then came back to it later and was like, "Oh, this is weirdly specific."
Imagine if you hadn't gone back to it.
Yeah, that would have been a real shame.
Would this album have been in existence then? Because this is As It Grows, Dark/Light, right?
Yeah.
So
it definitely wouldn't have been.
Wow.
No.
That hung on the precipice.
It hung all on that kind of me not deleting or retrieving that one.
Wow. Check your junk mail. We learn about... Guys, check your junk. Yeah, you heard it here first.
If you get an email from a Nigerian prince who's offering you lots of money, then maybe think twice about it. But you never know.
But I don't know. Nigerian princes need money too.
Yeah.
Let's be balanced in these interviews. So that's incredible. And then you went and you made this album. I've heard it took quite a while to create the album.
It did, and it was kind of so basically I started working with Guy during this competition, and then we made the album in quite a sort of piecemeal way over the last few years. And it was kind of nice because we actually had a lot of time in between. Guys working on lots of projects, so in his kind of downtime, and I have another kind of career as well, so in my downtime, whenever we could get together, we were making the album, and it sort of just meant that we had time to like find out what we like doing and what we do well, and sort of sculpt it more. So I think it benefited the album having a few years to make it over, basically.
Yeah, and I've heard you use some quite weird ways of recording stuff. There's talk of toilet roll was involved in the recording process, pennies, things like that. Can you elaborate on some of these strange methods?
These were, I guess, the more experimental moments in the recording. So the toilet roll thing was that we used a hairdryer with some toilet roll and wafted it onto the strings of a guitar that was turned up very high, and then sort of amped that. So it kind of made this like fluttering sound, and then you have the guitar in like an open tuning.
Is that easy to recreate live?
We're not on this occasion, like Angus with the hairdryer.
Yeah.
Just
sponsored by Andrex. This performance, great.
So yeah, it's true. Yeah. So that's I mean, if Andrex want to sponsor me, then. Sure, I'm open to discussions.
We're having some big discussions on Twitch as well about if the tattoo is true, we want to see it, you know the proof. So already your body's being subjected to this. This is the delights of being filmed on the internet. Wow. This is what happens. And you mentioned before you have another career, which you sort of glanced over, but let's not beat around the bush. The bush. You're an NHS doctor.
Yeah, so I work part-time as a doctor, which means that
part-time for me, man. I mean, sorry, all Twitchers, let's just applaud this man. He's not had enough Thursdays in his life. Come on. So yeah, Jack, what did you get up to during lockdown? Well, I stared at the wall a lot. I ate more than my fair share of banana bread. What did you do, Fran? Oh, I just worked for the NHS and made an album.
I mean, I stare at the wall, I eat banana bread as well.
That's
so
good.
It's all good.
Just a normal guy, but except you save lives and I make them worse.
That waist jacket alone is testament to the fact that you're not making anyone's life worse.
Oh, we've already had a lot of discussion about the jacket for some reason. I'm sorry it's so contentious, and mums, please get off the chat. But yeah, that's incredible, man. So I need to pick you up on, because one of the tunes from the album was filmed in isolation. What tune was that again?
Yeah, so it's a video that we made. So actually, I had COVID during the week that I made the video. So
even when you had COVID, you were like, "Well, I better get to work."
Well, I had nothing else to do. So it was in the really early days of COVID. I think it was like April last year, and I couldn't leave my room for a week. So I knew that we were going to release a song called "Above All Else Be Kind," and I ended up just kind of emailing lots of friends who were both kind of musicians and medics, or working in the medical field in the UK and around the world, and asked them to be part of the video, just holding up like a brief clip of them holding a line from the song in wherever they were. So it kind of also kept me sane during this week where I could otherwise only stare at my walls, not even eat banana bread.
Welcome to my world, mate.
Yeah.
I love that someone's joined in already said, MB Jesus says he's a better musician than he is a medic. Would you agree with that?
I'm hoping my patient. I don't sing to my patients on the ward round, and I don't know if they would appreciate that. But that's very kind. Regards my musical abilities.
Oh, that's
maybe
lovely.
Misguided.
But I think weirdly, going back to that song "Above or Else Be Kind," that was written pre-pandemic, correct?
Yeah, I wrote it on the very same day that I don't really want to bring him back into the limelight, but that Donald Trump won the U.S. election.
Yeah.
Kind of from a place of like complete despair, really, and wrote that, and then I just felt during the, I guess when all this was kicking off, that it fit the moment well, and it was something that kind of needed to be heard.
It's a song full of hope. I think all of your music essentially has hope at the core, which is really beautiful, really ethereal. But there was like a line that I was like, how have you written this before the pandemic and then filmed this in isolation? Where there's a line that goes, "As I gasped is it in death?" Have I read that correctly? And I was like, wow, that is poignant as it is. But then when you're putting it to a corona sort of pandemic, wow.
I based the song loosely around the structure of a song by a French singer called Georges Brassens, and he's got a song which is a sort of testament to the kindness of strangers, basically. And he talked about the person who gave him, shelter when he was cold, and clothes when he was naked, and food when he was hungry.
Like the Good Samaritan.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And I love the message, and I love the structure. So I kind of I used that as a template, really, and wrote the song.
It's incredible how fitting it was. You need to definitely check it out. But first, we need to find out what your lie was in the Two Truths and Lies. So the people of Twitch have spoken. They think you can't handle your chili.
Oh my God!
So they have gone 50%. Have gone for champion chili eater. No one believes you've got a bandmate's name tattooed. Partly because maybe you're often a solo artist, so that is quite the commitment. What was the truth and what was the lie?
Well, so hang on. So because it was two truths. Hang on. Have I just completely missed?
Wait a second. It was two truths and one lie.
One lie. Yes,
so they think the chili's a lie.
The chili, unfortunately, is indeed a lie. I have you've rumbled me.
They
entirely.
read you like a book.
I really thought that I'd played that better than
casually. You were sort of like, yeah, regional chili championships, biggest in the northeast, mate. What are you on about?
I have such a shockingly bad tolerance of chili. It's shameful. I sweat slightly when I have ketchup.
No.
I think it might be like
I've met some white people in my life, but my God,
no, it's really bad. I think it's like a malt vinegar, like intolerance or something. But yeah, it's
you're a doctor. You should work this out, mate.
No, exactly. I just it's not good. It's not
part of your training. Well, we're getting to know you, and I really want to get to know you even better, because it's a shame that you don't have your bandmate's name tattooed on you, because I think you should. But you might want to after this, because are you up for playing a game of Mr. and Mrs. with your bandmate Angus, who's currently just lounging on the stage right now?
There he is. Look at him.
So could you both grab? You've got a whiteboard down the side there, Fran.
All right. Okay.
And Angus, you've got one too. So I'm going to ask some very personal questions. And Angus, I want you to see if you can get these right about Fran. So I will ask a question. We can take it in turns so you can get to know each other a little bit. But for the first one, I'm going to ask, what is Fran's worst habit? And Fran will write down what he thinks his worst habit is. And you can write down what you think Fran's worst habit is. And we'll see who's right.
I don't even get to slay Angus here. Angus is a good name, by the way.
I mean, swear minimal, I'd say. We got delicate eyes.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, so we're going for this already. By the way, Angus, you're getting some love just on your name.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's a lovely name. It's a particularly fun. I like the burgers. I love an Angus burger. I'm good for that. Never had one. We were talking before. Angus has never watched Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging either, even though he stars in it. He's the thong. So yeah, okay. So what do you think Fran's worst habit is? Angus, reveal first. Instagram. Okay. What, on it too much, you'd say? It's like crack. So he, let's not go into details about how crack works. It's not that sort of show.
No,
Fran, what do you think your worst habit is?
Interesting. I really thought he was going to say timekeeping. He accuses me of faffing all the time, which I do.
So true. Instagram leads to faffing. So half a point. You know him well.
I can faff
like any given opportunity.
Thank you. It's good. Thank you for admitting it.
Okay. Well. Do you know what? Let's see if you know the next one. Let's have another little go. Have you lost your pen?
I've lost my.
You can use the top of it to scrub it off.
You're joking.
No, man.
Oh my god.
Look at that. So, what is, do you think, Fran's weirdest crush is? Weirdest crush. Oh, Fran is straight down there. He's going, I know who this is. Dot from EastEnders every time. It's mine anyway. So, if anyone's got any ideas what they could be, thanks Space Cavunt, who says, don't do drugs, kids. I mean, it's always good not to do it. Although, you know what? Alcohol's technically a drug, and the pubs are open soon. I'm not excited at all. Yes, I am. Being late for everything, Morstons. To be fair, Morston got it on the shot. Do you know Morstons? Are they a friend of yours? Nicola Sturgeon's been suggested already, straight off the bat.
Oh, wow.
He's changed your answer already. Has Nicola swayed you, Angus?
Faffing means...
His weirdest crush is definitely Angus. Yeah, look at you. You've been like, shall I go a bit big-headed now? That was MB Jesus. M Jesus with a G. You might know who that is. Is it you perv, Cam from Scruff of the Neck? I don't think it is, CC. Although it could be. Have you ever met Cam from Scruff of the Neck?
I mean, obviously the attraction was instant.
But, instant, yeah, of course.
What can you say?
So you've already got yours down, Angus. Okay, Angus, what are you going for? Nick Peeve. Peeve. Who's Nick Peeve? And you've gone for Peeve.
Peeve is
the drummer.
There we go.
It's a lovely crush. You like a man with rhythm.
What can we say?
Of course you do.
We love you, Peeve.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. Keeping it in the band. Is that who you'd have the tattoo of?
No, so the tattoo is true.
Oh yeah, of course it was. Where's this tattoo?
It is. So Angus and I on a very, very drunken night out.
It was an afternoon.
On a very drunken afternoon out, we got so obliterated with our then girlfriends that it was just like, it culminated in being like, man, like I love you so much. I'd get a tattoo of your name on me. It was like, no, I'd get a tattoo of your name. And this just escalated. And Angus's girlfriend Daisy bought a tattoo gun that she has at home.
As you do.
As you do.
What else are you going to do in lockdown then, draw on your friends and family?
This was pre-lockdown.
It's pre-lockdown, there's no excuses.
This was before we went on a European tour together. And we got each other's names tattooed on our breasts.
On your breasts?
Yeah. To be fair though, I have lots and lots of shit homemade.
Angus does have lots of shit.
Angus has a lot, but you also have Fran on your breast. Bit of Fran breath.
Yeah.
Bit of Angus breast.
What can you do?
Angus breast.
Angus breast.
Oh, I would order you in a restaurant, mate. Okay, we'll do one more of these because I'm enjoying this. Okay, this will be interesting. Let's do a musical one. We just started boobies, show us. I mean, this is the first time we've had a request.
Honestly, this is a family show. This is family oriented. Not even the watershed yet.
Yeah, I know. Top off. Maybe if the show goes well, Fran, you'll take your top off at the end to celebrate. So stick around for that, people. Oh, it's going to be feisty. We'll do one more. Favorite album. Fran's favorite album. Oh, didn't even hesitate. This is love. This is lust.
This today.
I'm just thinking about Fran's breast right now.
Of all time.
Yeah, of all time. So he's more confident than you are.
I think he's going to get this wrong because we actually talked a bit about this today.
You talked about it. I mean, it's a hard decision. Mine changes daily, so it's quite.
Go with this
what's up there for me? If I was thinking of a favourite album, Arcade Fire, The Suburbs for me is.
That's great.
If you're going for full albums, that's my teenage years right there. Okay, we've both got one. Angus, reveal first. Low Double Negatives.
That's what I thought you were going to say, and it is. I do love that album. No, I didn't put it down.
What did you put down, Fran?
Yeah, no, I do. That's true.
Paul Simon Greysound, a lovely album. He just wants to look cool.
I don't want to show off. No, I do love Low Double Negative. That is up there. But I think of all time, it's probably
Paul Simon. Great. It's a stupendous album. If you think that was some good choices, let us know. Yeah. Twitchers, why not? But you're a doctor, though, Fran. We've discussed this briefly, and I was hoping we could potentially get you to help diagnose some people. and to potentially help prescribe. I mean, I know this is all illegal. So I was thinking, because, I mean, we've got to keep this legal. I don't want you handing out narcotics because, as people have already said in the chat, drugs are bad, and that's there to help you. So I was hoping you could prescribe a song for different ailments.
Okay.
This is us getting to know your musical choices, because I love the bit of Paul Simon Graceland. So let's say I'm isolated, I'm feeling alone. What's a good song for me to listen to prescribe to someone, Dr. Fran?
I mean, Angus and I, whenever we've done a tour, we've listened consistently to Tony Braxton, "Unbreak My Heart," which
It's a good tune. It makes you happy.
I think probably that, really.
Tony Braxton, "Break My Heart" if you're feeling low.
"Unbreak My Heart," amazing.
Prescribed, I'm feeling better. Okay, this one's going to be more difficult. Let's say I've got a sore throat. What song should I use to treat a sore throat, Dr. Fran?
Maybe something by Barry White, I guess, or something. Like some sort of crooner. No, Tom Waits. Tom Waits.
What song are you going for Tom Waits for it? Cheeseball at 78 has gone for Bowie to sort out your throat. That's interesting. Different way.
Interesting shout as well. I'm going to say "Get Behind a Mule" by Tom Waits. That's a belter.
That is deep.
Yeah.
Deep to help the soul. Oh, that's nice from the Rad Cyclist. Ajimal Music is Medicine. There we go.
Oh, you can stay.
You can stay.
Thanks.
It's lovely. I mean, you can say your own one. Let's say I've got a bit of hay fever, because let's be honest, the pollen count is off the charts at the moment. How am I going to sort that out? I need something to bring down my pollen count.
I mean,
Twitchers do get involved. If I mean, did they cover this at medical school?
This is not a conventional part of the syllabus. Maybe
it should
things
be.
have changed since I went to medical school.
Being like, you got allergies. What are you gonna do to sort it out?
You know, oh man, like, you give me fever. I mean,
that's
not really.
I mean, we've gone in route
Fever's
one.
not really typical in anaphylaxis, to be honest. But you know, there you go.
Look at him. He's using words that sound sensible. I like it. This man does have a degree. Okay, here's one, because this is a serious medical condition.
Okay.
A broken heart.
Oh, we already covered it, haven't we? I think probably an extended course of Tony Braxton, "Unbreak My Heart."
I feel like, are you sponsored by
Turn Back
Tony?
Time, maybe.
Ooh,
that's pretty good as well.
If I could turn back time.
I think that is.
Not sung by me, obviously. Fake Plastic Trees is also good music medicine. The Rad Cyclist, yeah. Bit of the radio hard. Why not? Catherine Joseph is great for broken hearts.
I love Catherine.
She's great. And alternatively, the Venga Boys. It's a different route. That was Morstons. Is that a friend of yours? But
could be Daisy.
That's lovely. So we got it. I can't have you on the sofa and without teasing the people that are already getting involved, without saying your setup looks exquisite on the stage. There's a lot of things going on, but this is not necessarily how you always perform. Sometimes it's just solo. But we're getting a treat of you and Angus today.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons. So
if you like buttons, stick around.
Stick around for buttons. Lots of button pressing. This is we tend to play as a duo. We do have like a third leg of the table as well, aka Peef. Who we mentioned before.
Close to our hearts, an absolute stunner.
If absent. So he ideally we would be like a 3-piece, and I think in my ideal setup to recreate the album, I'd have some strings and some brass as well to really bring it to life. But unfortunately, we can't fit all of them in a car.
Because we're going to all see that sexy looking setup pretty soon. Let's say if I was wanting to start out as maybe a solo artist, what couple of pieces of tech would you recommend the most out of these? Apart from like the keyboard, that's obvious. That's route one.
Well, as a starting thing, so I think probably because I like pianos and I like playing pianos, one of the things that I'm not using today, but I would recommend, would be a piece of free software.
We love it.
That is excellent sounding sampled piano. So Spitfire Audio have a free collection called Labs that you can download, and there's a wonderful piano called the Soft Piano in there. I think pretty much everyone uses it now.
Yeah.
It just sounds really delicate, and it's really close mic'd, and just sounds lots of like creaks and pedal noises, and it's lovely.
Is that how you sort of started like fiddling around with like different samples and stuff like that, just on your own?
Actually, not really. I mostly started. So I started playing piano when I was quite young, but didn't really enjoy it. Wasn't really very good at it, and sort of abandoned it until sort of teenage years.
Yeah.
And came back and discovered playing again. So it's more in my since this last album that I've gotten more into electronica and the sort of crossover with classical and folk.
And did that help with working with Guy?
Definitely. Yeah. So we kind of both shared a lot of music between one another and went to gigs and stuff together as well. So that I can kind of pushed us in a certain direction. And Guy's just amazing. So he also helped bring a lot of things to life that I wouldn't have been able to do.
And have you, because that album came out in June, obviously, and you've been fairly busy. I mean, you've been working for the NHS and you've been promoting this album. Has there been time for you to be creative during lockdown? Has it been fruitful for you?
We were talking about this in the car on the way up. I don't think during the initial phase I really struggled to do anything creative, and I think a lot of people did. And you sort of put pressure on yourself. More recently, in the last sort of few weeks, I've actually kind of gotten into the feel and been more enthused about the idea of making another album, and maybe a bit less scared by the idea.
Yeah.
So I've sort of started to work on that a bit obsessively in the last few weeks, which is nice. It's nice to feel that wanting to make another album again.
I read an interview that you said that some of your even lyrics you can sort of pick up whilst you're on the wards. Is there any particular lyric that you've picked up that you could highlight for us?
A patient once told me that was no fun and that I needed to lighten up.
Yeah.
So that's made it interesting. I kind of you encounter a lot of people who have amazing life stories, and the area of medicine that I work in, I get to spend more time with them than in a sort of on a conventional kind of ward where you're just rushed and just trying to do everything as quick as you can, really. So I hear a lot of people's stories, and a lot of people have really cool stories. So some bits make it in.
Well, you've got a request already for your performance, which is to play the song Wolf. Will that be appearing in the set list?
Oh, wow. That is a very old, very vintage song.
I mean, dedicated fan.
Dedicated fan. I suspect that might be our dear friend Matt BG. Shout out.
Shout out, G. Well, mate, I will not keep you any longer because we need to get you up on that stage and performing. So stick around, because Fran is used to saving lives, but tonight he will be curing your Wednesday blues, baby. Stick around. Ajimal will be with you in about 3 minutes.